Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we are going to learn how to perform fuzzy matching with some data. And as we discussed in class, fuzzy matching is used to find similarities between sets of data. And in this exercise, we're going to use the data that is in Blackboard that is titled fuzzy matching data. As you see, the data is open in front of you in the screen in the video, and we have two tabs in this file. One is client information and the other one is employee information. So the first thing we do is we need to format both of these tables as tables for performing fuzzy matching. So what we do is we highlight the data. So the easiest way to highlight the data, in the first tab in the client information, is to bring your cursor to A1, press and hold Shift, and then go all the way down to the bottom of the data set and click the rightmost cell in the bottom, which is G101. So if I click that, the entire data set is highlighted. Then I go up here in the tab in the home. The tab says format as table. If I click that, you can select any one of these designs. I'm going to select this one, this blue one, table style medium 2. I'm going to click this, and this box will appear. The range, leave it alone, and if this box is not checked, my table has headers, make sure you check that box and click OK. Then on the top left, there is table name, and currently it says table 1 on the top left. Name this table as client underscore infor, INFOR, right? Okay. Then go to the next tab, which is the employee information, and do the same. I'm going to highlight the entire table, clicking Shift, pressing and holding Shift when my cursor is in the A1 cell, and I bring the sheet down and I click the bottom right one, which is E62, and my entire table is highlighted. Now I go to format as table on top, and I'm going to select the same style. I'm going to leave the range alone, and see my table has headers is not clicked. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to go to the top left, and I'm going to name this table employee underscore infor. Okay. Now I am ready to do the fuzzy matching. I am going to go on top and look at the fuzzy lookup on top of my Excel. If you do not have fuzzy lookup installed in your Excel, then I have provided a link in Blackboard announcement. You can click that link and you can download the fuzzy lookup into your Excel. Once you have downloaded, make sure you close your Excel and restart it for the fuzzy lookup to show up. So once you do that, this fuzzy lookup will show up. Now you click on the top left, fuzzy lookup, and this box will appear on the right side. For the left table, select client infor. For the right table, click employee infor. And then we want to do the address matching. So we want to match the client address with the employee address to see if we have any matches between our client addresses and employee addresses. We want to see if any of our employees or their relatives or their family member is also a client. So this is what we want to find out. So we click the you can widen this window a little bit so that you can see the descriptions a little bit better, right? By putting your cursor here and making it wider. So now we have in the left column, I'm going to click client address because I want to match client address with the right column, the employee address. And I'm going to click this button right in the middle, which is the merger button. So click that. And then I'm going to match columns. I'm going to leave this alone. Then I'm going to come down here in the output and I'm going to select the client's first name, last name, and address. So I'm going to unselect the client info ID. We'll leave the first name, the last name checked. I'm going to uncheck the email. I'm going to uncheck the gender. I'm going to keep the client information, client address. I'm going to leave that checked. I'm going to unclick the client information sales. I'm going to leave the employee first name, the employee last name alone. I'm going to uncheck the employee email. I'm going to come down to uncheck the employee gender, and I'm going to leave the employee information, employee address alone, and then I'm going to leave the fuzzy lookup dot similarity alone. Okay. All right. Now in the number of matches, this one I'm going to leave alone, and the threshold here is in the middle, which means I want matches for 50% or higher, and you can move this, but for our exercise we'll leave it alone. Okay, now we want the output to appear on a separate sheet, so we come down here on the bottom and we add a new sheet and we bring our cursor here in A1, and then we come down in the fuzzy lookup NE and we click go. So now I have the similarity report. I'm going to maximize my columns to make sure I can look at the descriptions properly. Now there are a number of zero similarities and I want to clean up this data. I don't want zero similarities. I want the similarities that have some similarities. So I want to get rid of the zeros. The way I would do that is I'm going to highlight this cell, this entire column, and I'm going to I'm going to go to data and I'm going to click filter, right? So again, I highlight this entire column, that's a similarity. I go to filter, and now I can filter this data. So this gives me the option of doing the filtering. So I come to the similarity column. It's showing all similarities right now. If I click this arrow and I want to uncheck the zero, so I don't want to see the zero similarities. I want the items that have similarities, and I'm going to click OK. Now I have a clean list of the addresses that have similarities, and on the right side, as you can see, I have 96% and I have 59% and I have 53% because we wanted 50% or above. And I'm going to now click at the bottom and name this fuzzy matching address, and I'm going to save this file as fuzzy matching solution. So I'm going to save it as today is our class number 32, so we're going to save that as fuzzy matching solution. And that is the end of our exercise. So I need you to do this exercise yourself by looking at the steps inside the video and then make sure you're comfortable in doing this.